Hello, how's it going? I am Jake Patton, aka Jake the Horror Movie Geek, and welcome to my almost YouTube channel. Well, it's my YouTube channel, but I don't really have any subscribers. um, and um, I'm trying to, but you know, I think it's kind of hard to get started. I mean, I've seen so many awesome people, awesome channels like Christian from and Nick from Planet CHH, Piz, I'm not sure how you say his name, but he's awesome. Ken from Mid Level Media. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, Mike and Jay from we watched the movie. And I thought there's Dead Pit. You know, the Creeping Kentucky and Uncle Bill and all them, and more recently the Thing with Two Heads podcast with Sean Clark and Chris Nelson. They're all these guys are all awesome, and they're all people I'd like to be like. When I say that is I'd like to be on YouTube with hundreds to thousands of subscribers, people actually interested in what I have to say. Who knows? But we got to start somewhere, right? So here's me starting. I put out videos, but maybe this will be. I don't know. Maybe this will help me. I have 21 of my favorite scary movies. They're in no specific order, just the order that I put them in. Um, it's not of importance or anything. Just 21 of my favorite horror movies because I love scary movies, and it's I love them so much. It's so hard to pick just favorites from every from like some people have top 10, whatever top. I mean, I wouldn't say this is my top. I mean, I love so many scary movies, but these are just 21 that I came up with. So, and I'm doing this on my phone, and I'm not. I don't know. I guess I need to talk with some of the famous YouTubers and ask them what I can get to, so I can not use my phone and just be hands free. Okay. Anyways, here are 21 of my favorite horror movies. Starting off with one of my all-time favorites. It's a classic. It's some people you either love it or you hate it, but I love it. 1988's Night of the Demons, directed by Kevin Tenney, and I love this movie so much. It's a fun movie. There's great characters in it. My favorite character is Sal. He's just awesome. He has great some best lines like "Enjoy your lipstick, doll face." This dirty dive don't spell home to me. I live in a nice house, with plastic slip covers on the furniture. Enjoy your lipstick, doll face. What's the matter, Maxie baby? You pissed because I made you lose your brewski? Anyways, yeah, Night, Night of the Demons is just a fun horror movie. You know, everyone's seen this movie right now, so I don't need to go into to review. But I'll just give it just my thought. I love the movie. Real quick, kids go into a house. There's possession. Some there's a scene involving lipstick that people know, and there's a a good sex scene. It's for a second until it turns. Well, hijinks ensue. If it's just a great movie. Check it out, and yeah, have fun with it. It's just okay. Number two, the 1978 classic Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now, I am aware of the original Don Siegel one from 1957, which I do like. That one's awesome, but this one is just. I love this one a little more, but I think it's cool that they got Kevin McCarthy, who played Matthew Bennell in the original, to have a cameo in this one. But yeah, Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1978, directed by Philip Kaufman. Um, it's just an amazing movie. It's creepy. It has a good story. You know, it starts. You know, the build up is great. Um, and Matthew Bennell is my favorite character. And also, I love the almost relationship between Matthew and Elizabeth. You know, it's like they had potential, and then she falls. Well, I won't spoil it for anybody, but you've seen the movie by now. I know. So I'm not breaking new ground with trying to review the movie. I'm not, even if I did, but I couldn't do it as well as other people. I can only do what I can do. So this is what I can do. Okay. Anyways, check it out. In 1978, classic Invasion of the Body Snatchers. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Okay. This is my number 3. Um, the original is a classic. Part 2 is great, but I love Part 3. I think the most. Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Um, Directed by Jeff Burr, came out in 1990. I was 2 years old at the time. And my favorite characters, well, let's see. Tinker, he was great. Played by John Unger. He was just, all the characters were great, but my favorites. Tinker. Benny, played by Ken Foree. He was great. He was funny. He was kick ass. And Leatherface, aka Junior, portrayed. He was played by R.A. Mihailov, who's awesome. He's probably my favorite Leatherface, honestly. Bill Johnson did great, and so did Gunner and Jax. Crap. The guy who played him in Part 4, I can't. It's something Jax. I can't. He didn't do bad, but R.A. is my favorite Leatherface. I don't know. He was just awesome. So 1990s. Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Check it out. As a cameo from Caroline Williams, who was Stretch in Part 2, which is awesome. And yeah, it's just a fun movie. It's creepy, and some great kills. And the characters are great. Like Tinker's Joe Unger is just such a cool character. And on a side note, I would love to meet Joe Unger at a horror convention someday. Okay. Number 4 on my list. Now, this is one that when I first seen, like when it first came out, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I thought it sucked. And through many more re-watches, I have discovered how wrong I was and how amazing and awesome and macabre this movie is. It's 2003's House of a Thousand Corpses, directed by Rob Zombie. I personally think he's an awesome director. Some of his movies may not be for everyone, but I like him. For people that like him, they like him. For people that don't, whatever. Not everyone is gonna like the same thing. But yeah, this is such a great movie. It's creepy, and my favorite characters are Captain Spaulding. He's like the best character in the movie, but I do like Sheriff Wydell. And I like Otis. He's funny, and Baby. But the Grandpa. I forget. Well, he was great. But Captain Spaulding is my favorite character. Come on, he's the best character. And but yeah, check it out. 2003's House of a Thousand Corpses. It's awesome. Just check it out. You won't. If you're into horror movies, you'll thank me. Oh, unless you hate it, you won't. Whatever. It's cool. Okay. Number 5 on my list. I love this movie. It's a classic. You hear that a lot on my videos. It's a word I like to use a lot. Oh well. Number 5, 1988's Pumpkinhead. directed by the late great Stan Winston. Rest in peace. So he was, um, what can I say about Pumpkinhead? Great practical effects, creepy, creepy story, like a grim fairy tale. Well, it even says that. But yeah, um, the characters are good. The acting's good. My favorite character though is Ed Harley. What you asking? Got a powerful prize. Now it begins. Okay, I guess my second favorite character is Haggis, the witch. She was so creepy, and that was my Haggis impression. It's not perfect, it's not dead on, but it's mine, and I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. And if I get to meet Lance Henriksen at Scarefest if he comes back this year, I will do that impression for him because Lance Henriksen is the man. But anyways, Pumpkinhead, it's just creepy, classic, and you can't go wrong watching Pumpkinhead. And any movie with Lance Henriksen in it, how can you go wrong? And Ed Hardy was just an awesome character. I felt so bad for him. Okay. Number 6. Awesome one from 1987. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Directed by John Carl Buechler. Buechler, sorry. Like I said, it came out in 1987. My favorite characters are, well, for one thing, Jason. Bad News Cruz. I think he's great. He was great. Was he protagonist? The antagonist. I can't remember, but he was great. Tina is great. Nick. Yeah. I kind of liked Eddie though. He was fun because he must be a writer. He's in sci-fi, and David, was the stoner. You know what I like about you? Why, you hardly sweat at all. I love that line. You hardly sweat at all. The Neanderthal man, hunter-gatherer, seeks nourishment. Anyway, he's stoned and he's hungry. Yeah, so I guess David was one of my favorite characters too, and Eddie. I know, Star Mummy. But anyways, this was Kane Hodder's first time appearance as Jason. First time playing Jason, and it is awesome. And it is a shame that the ratings board cut up this movie so bad that all the kills we could have gotten that were cut down were awesome. Even though the footage is not the greatest, what we have of them, that has been put on here. In the deleted scenes or whatever bloopers, I think. I don't know. The kills are just excellent, and it's just a shame. But yeah, I recommend this one. It's a fun one. And if you want to see a brutal Jason, check out Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. So you've probably seen it a million times. Okay. Let's see. My number 8 or number 7. Oh my lord. My bad. I can count, just so you know, but I somehow skipped number 7. My number 7, Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers. Came out in 1988, directed by the awesome Dwight H. Little, and this movie, I obviously, like a lot of people, I was a little kid when I saw it, and I identified with Jamie. So she was like, "Hey, she's like my age. I love this character." And I had an older brother and sister. Obviously, they weren't fostered or anything, but I liked the relationship with Rachel and Jamie. I mean. And so I could relate to that, and I love Halloween 4. And my favorite characters are, well, obviously Rachel and Jamie, but Mika and Loomis are awesome too. Sheriff Mika is one of the greatest characters, and he actually, it took him a little bit of conviction. But then once he believed Loomis, he believed him, and he wasn't like Sheriff Brack, which I love Sheriff Brack as a character, but I love Sheriff Meeker a little more because he actually believed Loomis, and then he seen it for himself, and so. Halloween 4 is just one of those movies that just, yeah, it was the first Halloween I can remember watching and loving it. And then I seen the original. I know it's a classic, and Jamie Lee Curtis. I love that in part two, and I love all the Halloweens. But Halloween 4 is the one I put on my list as one of my favorites because it's one of the ones I've watched more, since I was a little kid. Okay, now my number 8. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Directed by Chuck Russell, came out in 1987. When I was a kid, I used to watch, or it was either part 3 or part 5. Those were the only two I'd really watched when I was, a small kid, like 4 or 5. But, actually, I have this memory of, I was watching part 3, and then my dad comes and asks me if I wanted to go see Home Alone 2. And me being stupid, I said no, because I'd already seen it with my older brother and my mom. I said, so this was 92. And I remember this, 88, 89, and I was 4 years old. But I remember that. And I should have just said, yeah, Daddy, let's go. I'm assuming I've called him Daddy. I don't remember specifically that, but yeah, Dad, let's go. I should have been like, yeah, but no. I was like, no, I already seen it with Mom and Danny, and I'm watching. So yeah, even then I was a horror fan. I turned down the chance to see Home Alone 2 again for Nightmare 3. But anyways, my favorite character is. Well, characters: Kincaid, Taryn, Will, Kristen, Nancy, and Donald Thompson, Nancy's dad. He was awesome. I like all the characters. Like Dr. Gordon, he's cool, but it's not one of my favorites. Okay. Number 9. I love this one. It's just great. Number 9, Ticks, from 1993, directed by Tony Randall, which I know I've seen him direct other movies that came out in 1993, and my favorite characters are Tyler, Panic, and Rome. I like all the characters in the movie, they all play their parts fine and everything, but Tyler was great. He wore glasses. He's Seth Green. How can you not love Seth Green? And Panic, played by Alfonso Ribeiro Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I remember watching this movie with my cousin Topher. His name is Chris, but I've always called him Topher. He's like, when he's seen Panic, he's like, I can't picture him in this role. I get what he's saying, but I think Alfonso did a great job with Panic. He was convincing. Shoot the ball, Holmes. They call me Panic because I never do. How about you? Panic was great. Some people can't suspend the disbelief fine or whatever, but I can. But yeah, Panic was fine. I love this character. It's too bad he had to die. And I don't think I was spoiling them. This movie is 30 years old, so if you haven't seen it by now, I'm sorry to spoil it for you. But yeah, Panic dies, but he was a badass. And Rome, not a lot of character development, but his character was cool. I liked the actor. He was a buff guy, and he had Amy Dolenz for a girlfriend in the movie, and that was awesome. But yeah, check it out. Also the great scene with Clint Howard. He's like, "I'm infested," because he was, and it's just creepy and just awesome practical effects and takes. Check it out. It's a fun monster movie. You can't take it seriously. You just have fun with it, and it's cheesy. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay, my number 10, Child's Play 2. I love the first one. I love the third one. I love the Chucky movies. Child's Play 2 has just been my favorite. Came out in, excuse me, 1990, directed by John LaFia. And obviously my favorite characters are Andy, Kyle, and Chucky. Phil was a dick, but he was fun. And Joanne, I liked it because I don't know if she believed Andy, but she didn't think he was crazy like Phil did, and she didn't want to get rid of him. She wanted to help him. Phil was just like, we gotta get rid of this child. If we don't get rid of this child, he's gonna tear this family apart, And anyways, yeah, Child's Play 2 is just great. I think it's just as good as the first one, but like people say in the reviews, the first, like Chucky gets to be Chucky in this one. He's fully Chucky. I mean, okay, he was Chucky in the first one, but not till like halfway through the movie. This one he has his one-liners. How's it hanging, Phil? Just he's Chucky, man. He's and I actually, part two is like the best sequel, and it's just I don't know. Part two is great, and the ending scene, the last part of the movie, and the Good Guy Who Doll Factory. Oh my god, it was so cool. That set, whatever it was just cool. I had to been fun making the movie, especially there. But yeah, check it out if you haven't. I don't know. It's a fun movie. But my number 11. I love this one. This is a classic. 1995's Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight, directed by Ernest R. Dickerson. This movie is great. Just so much fun. It's I don't know how can you go wrong. It's just such a fun movie, directed by. Well, I already said that, but and my favorite characters are Breaker. He portrayed by William Sadler. He just did an awesome job. It's so sad that he dies. I mean, I guess he had to, but it's too bad he couldn't have somehow lived. Anyways, Breaker, Geraldine, she was great. Irene, Uncle Willie, the Collector, and last but not least, Deputy Bob, who he was a brave character and he was awesome, and his death scene is so sad. Well, him and Irene, because he was a hero. And actually, last year I messaged Gary Farmer on Facebook, and he gave me a family address for him, and I wrote to him, and I made a picture of him, a closet of him as Bob from Demon Knight, and he said he wrote me back saying that he has the picture hanging up in his a room in his house, which is awesome. Okay, but yeah, Demon Knight, check it out. It's so fun. It's just a great movie, and you can watch it with your group of friends, some beers or anything else, liquid or smoke, whatever have you, Okay, just have fun with it. My number 12. I love this movie. It's a classic. The Return of the Living Dead from 1985, directed by Dan O'Bannon. I just, what can I say that hasn't already been said with me? It's great. It's a fun time. You just have fun with it. It's such a great movie. The music, the kills, everything. The characters are fun. The acting's good. Um, and my favorite characters are Bert, Ernie, and Frank. Although Spider's great too. He's funny. There's some good lines, good character. But I mean, I like all the characters, but yeah, but Frank, Bert, and Ernie and Spider are my favorites. But Freddy was fun too, though. Frank and Freddy together, though, oh, they were hammering it up. It was great. But just check it out if you haven't seen it. But who hasn't seen this movie by now? Came out 3 years before I was born. But yeah, just the Return of the Dead. Also on a side note, I get to meet Clue Gallagher before he passed away at a horror convention, and Don Colfa. Actually, when I met Don Colfa, it was awesome, and I was sitting at the bar, and at the time I smoked cigarettes, and he was talking to someone that said he had to get a pack of cigarettes or something. So I gave him like 5 of my cigarettes at the time, and he bought me a drink. And I I didn't realize it. I don't know. Um I thought I said thank you, but I don't know if I did. And I don't think he ever knew that I thanked him for buying me a drink. But I'm sure he knows now. But I just thought that was cool, and I got a couple pictures with Clue. So, what's he was such a nice man to just meet. So, I will cherish those memories, forever. And also, I met Tom Matthews a few times. So, very cool guy. Anyways, okay. Number 13. Hold on. Number 13. I love this one. This is a classic. 1987's The Stepfather, directed by Joseph Rubin. This movie's great. Terry O'Quinn as Jerry Blake is the best. I mean, like, I just love his character. He's just, I don't know, he's so creepy, but on the outside he's so like the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet, and he's just friendly and charming and everything that. But all that is just an act, a put on, and then you find out what he's really like. He's creepy, psycho, and insane, and all that. And it's great though. He plays the role so well. Who am I here? Wait, but and then yeah, the stepfather's just great. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen, and the sequel is really fun. Also, it stars Terry O'Quinn and Meg Foster and Caroline Williams and a younger Jonathan Brandis. So check that out too. Directed by Jeff Burr, but I'm not talking about. I need to get that one. I don't have it. I should have bought it when I bought this one. Oh well. But yeah, The Stepfather is just classic. Check it out. My number 14. There were a lot of ones I could have put on instead of this one, but I love this one. Stephen King's It. On a side note, I liked the remake and everything, and then Bill Skarsgård was fine as Pennywise, but Tim Curry is my Pennywise. He's the only Pennywise. And the Losers Club and Pennywise are my favorite characters in. the both the the kids and the adults. They all did a great job. And the spider, yeah, they could come up with something better probably, but I don't mind the spider. I don't know what they could have done different, but well, actually, it would have been cool to see like them fight Pennywise, even like somehow. Oh well, but yeah, I love it. Stephen King's It. I was two when it came out, but I remember watching it with my brother and sister. I don't know that you know. I was probably like three or four, I think, when I first watched it. So, cause maybe five. I don't. My best guess four or five, and we watched it on TV. So I'm guessing it premiered on TV 2 years before or so, and then a couple years later it was on TV again, and I just remember watching it with them, and it scared the crap out of me, obviously, but thank you Tim Curry for scaring the crap out of me, and Pennywise is just great character. He's the only Pennywise. Yeah, no disrespect to Bill Skarsgård, he did fine, and those movies are fine. Andy Muschietti, I don't know how you say his last name. It's fine, but he just can't beat Tommy Lee Wallace and Stephen King's It. Okay. My number 15. Probably one of the best remakes, hands down. Uh, Point Blank and with a period. 1988's The Blob, directed by Chuck Russell. I first saw this when I was 10. And I was 10 in 1998, so this movie was 10 years old when I first saw it, and I was 10 years old. Kind of cool. But, it's just a great movie. I've seen the original, and the original's fine. It's campy. Uh, it's got a charm to it, the 50s quality. But, this one is just more fun for me. More interesting, and Chuck Russell did a great job directing. And obviously, my favorite characters are Brian and Meg, and I like Paul too. And, Scott Jeske was kind of a jerk. I don't, he was. You know, with his plans for Vicky and her two, as Joe Bob would say, tremendous talents. Yeah, Scott just gets some plans with his concoction of cherry coke or whatever you call it, yeah, and whatever. But the best character, another great character, well, besides the dad, was Sheriff Herb Geller, played by Jeffrey DeMunn, he was awesome, and I it's almost too bad this character couldn't have lived longer. Like to try and help somehow see that it wasn't Brian Flagg that killed Paul Taylor and all that, but he was not to be. It was not to be. But anyways, The Blob, 1988. Check it out. It's a classic. You can't go wrong. It's a fun movie, and Shawnee Smith was a badass. Great final girl. Okay, number 16. 1996's Scream, directed by the late, great Wes Craven. We miss you, Wes. Not much. What can I say about it? Unfortunately, I did not get to see it in theaters, but my mom did buy the video for me. And when it came out, and I watched the crap out of it, and then Scream 2 came out, and I did get to see that, which was awesome. But Scream, it's a classic. Yeah, yes, I like that word. Well, but oh well. But it Scream is responsible for revitalizing the horror genre and in the '90s, and that's great. And Wes Craven created an iconic killer in Ghostface. And the cool thing about Ghostface is, it could be anybody. It's not a demon. It's not a zombie or a zombie killer. It's not, it could be anybody. That person you picked on, or the girl or the guy you broke up with could be Ghostface. Your principal, whatever. Anyone can be Ghostface, which is cool. And my favorite characters are, well, Sydney, Gail, Dewey, and Randy. I mean, Tatum is cool too, but she didn't make it. She did not be in the sequel. Please, Mr. Ghostface, don't kill me. I want to be in the sequel. But yeah, this Scream is great, and thank you, Wes Craven, for creating another iconic character in Ghostface. Okay, my number 17. There's really a toss up between the first two, but Warlock 2. This is the collection, but yeah, Warlock 2 came out in 1993, directed by Anthony Hickox, and my favorite character is the Warlock, but I also like I don't mind the lead actors, the young kids. They're not bad. But I like the characters and act. They're not bad. But I like RG Armstrong's character and the dad. I like the older characters the best because they're just fun and they're just great characters. But yeah, Warlock 2 or Warlock the Armageddons. Check it out. It's a fun sequel, and I feel that you could tell Julian Sands was having a great time making the movie. I don't know if he had as much fun on the second one as the first one. Who knows? But yeah. And on a side note, I hope Julian Sands is found alive. It's so sad. It'd be obviously for his family. I want to see him safely return. His family. I can't imagine what his family's going through, but and the fan in me would like to see a Warlock versus Wishmaster movie. I think that'd be badass. With Julian Sands playing the Warlock, obviously, and Andrew Divoff playing the Djinn. I mean, if done right, it could work. But just I hope Julian Sands is found safe. I hope he's just please. Anyways, let's back to my list. Number 18 is 1997's Wishmaster, directed by Robert Kurtzman of K&B Effects. And my favorite characters are the Djinn, played by Andrew Divoff, who did awesome, and he was in the sequel, which is awesome too. Which it made the number 2 that much better because he was in it. And Johnny Valentine, played by Tony Todd, he was awesome. Raymond, I think it was in Beaumont, played by Robert Englund. He was a great character. I would hang out with his character. Well, I like to hang out with him in general, and I met Tony Todd, which is awesome too. And Kane Hodder played the guard, which he was great. And I've met Kane Hodder a few times, and he's such an awesome dude. But yeah, Kane Hodder was great. He's like, you have to get through me, and that is something I would like to see. And then Kane Hodder gets frozen, or whatever, the Djinn walks right through him. But yeah, Wishmaster is great. It's a fun movie. A lot of cameos by some horror icons, and Robert Kirkman did a great job. Too bad he didn't direct the second one. Okay. Anyways, my number 19. Number 19 is 1992's Candyman, directed by excuse me, directed by Bernard Rose and starring Tony Todd as the titular character. See, man, I don't want to say it too many times. No, but I met Tony Todd a couple times. An awesome guy, but I stupidly did not buy his autograph. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. But anyways, 1992 Candyman, check it out. It's a classic. This scared the crap out of me as a kid, and watching it with my older brother. Of course, he loved to torture me, which rest in peace. I miss him every day, but yeah, he would torture me, and I miss that actually. Uh, I miss him, and not really torture. You know how older brothers are. They like to scare you, and yeah. But anyways, yeah, check it out. It's a classic. My favorite characters are Daniel Robitaille, Helen Lyle, Trevor Lyle. You know, Purcell was great too, and well, all the characters were great, but just my favorites. Okay, number 20. This is a great one. Hatchet 2 came out in 2010, directed by Adam Green, and it's a fun romp. Over the top gore horror comedy. It's perfect though. And Kane Hodder is awesome as Victor Crowley, and Danielle Harris is awesome as Mary Beth Dunstan. She plays this actress who was, I thought she was fine, but Danielle Harris is Danielle Harris. She brought something to the role that was missing from the original actress's portrayal. And Reverend Zombie, as Tony Todd's in this as Reverend Zombie, he's awesome. Tom Holland as Uncle Bob, he was great. And I.A. Mihailov as Trent, it was great. Just my favorite characters. But I gotta mention John, played by Rick McCallum, who he didn't have any speaking roles, but all the characters are great. But this is my favorites. I wanted to mention, and the kills are spectacular. Over the top gore, just perfect, and in the only way that in a way that only Adam Green can do. It just made the movie perfect. And I have met A. Mihailov a few times too, and he's awesome. Really cool guy. We actually message back and forth on Facebook from time to time, not often, but not I don't because I don't want to bother him. But every now and then it's cool. And okay, number 21. I said I was number 21. I don't know why I said on that number, but I had to talk about this one. It's one of my favorites. From one of my favorite directors, 1982's Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, and I'm wearing a silver Shamrock Novelties hat with a Michael Myers pin, an Elmo pin. But yeah, Halloween 3: Season of the Witch is one of my favorite movies. It's came out in 1982, directed by the awesome legend Tommy Lee Wallace, and what can I say? This movie's infamous when I say that, it's because it's infamous for being hated for so long, and then finally people coming around like me, loving it. Um, when I was a little kid, I didn't get it, and I was like, there's no Michael Myers. This movie sucks. It probably didn't say sucks at that age, but probably this movie's stupid or something. And I gave up on it, and you know, years later, when I was like 13, 14, 15, I watched it again. And I'm like, hey, this movie's creepy. It doesn't need Michael Myers. And like wait, where's Michael Myers? But then it doesn't need Michael Myers because the story is just great. Um, everyone knows the story. Everyone's aware of the history now, but I just want to talk about it and show off my silver Shamrock Novelties hat. But Halloween 3, just a classic. Tom Atkins as Dan Chalice is obviously my favorite character. Ellie is cool. Marge Gutman is funny. And I felt bad for Buddy Cupford and his family. Little Buddy was kind of an asshole. Flipping off his parents and everything. When his mom said, "Don't go on the street," he's like, "Screw you, mom. I'm going to the street anyways." But I mean, he didn't say "screw you," but that's what he was like. His attitude. But I mean, he was a little asshole, but I probably didn't deserve to have his head explode and all the bugs and snakes and crap come out of it. But yeah, that was a little too much. But it's a horror movie, so whatever. But yeah, but Buddy Cupford was the dad. Buddy Senior, he was great. He was, but yeah. Anyways, that is my list of 21 of my favorite scary movies. I know people when they make videos, they usually try to trim them down and edit. I'm not aware how to do that. I have no idea how to do that or what to do. Um, I know I'm very novice at this and very new. I don't probably not very good, but if there's any constructive criticism, please, as long as it's constructive and you're not just trying to be a dick. Um, I'm wearing sunglasses because I don't know. I just feel a little more comfortable, like with sunglasses on, and I mean, yeah, I'm just more comfortable. Okay, so thank you for watching. Uh, if you can think of any constructive criticism and something that helps me out, please leave a comment. Uh, just don't say something negative just to be a dick, please. I hate that. It's like if you don't have everything nice to say, then really don't say anything at all. Then, but but then on the same hand, I'm a big boy. I can take it. But okay. Everyone have a good day. Peace out. Bye.